Recently, Verisk Analytics published its second quarter Cap-On report. I'm here with the author of that report, Gary Kerney, Assistant Vice President from Property Claim Services at Verisk Analytics. Gary, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
The report suggests similarities between the 2012 Cap-On market and what we saw in 2007.
Yes, it's interesting because the amount of issuance in 2012 is just slightly less than what was issued in 2007. But 2007 followed the hurricane season of 2005, and we've been pretty benign in terms of landfalling hurricanes over the last number of years since 2005. So it's interesting to see how the cat bond or the ILS transactions are becoming part and parcel of reinsurance programs for many insurance companies or many issuers.
So is it really 2007 all over again?
I don't think it's going to be. I think that 2007 was driven by those big hurricanes that we had. The current forecasts for hurricanes are relatively benign. As a matter of fact, most of the major forecasting firms are calling for an average season, an average hurricane season. But again, it only takes one.
Exactly. Now, there are differences in cat bonds. Other than the technical changes, what is different?
Oh, there's a lot of things that have been changing that I've noticed over the years. They include the geography is changing. We were just part of a transaction that's doing earthquake in the United States and Canada, and the same bond is doing hurricane in the southeastern United States and in the Caribbean. That's interesting, the changes, the geographic changes, getting away from the perils. ILS transactions have typically been hurricanes and earthquakes, and they've been switching in the last several years to include things like severe weather, wildland fires, and winter storms. So that the perils are changing, and the nature of the transactions are changing. And I think one of the more interesting aspects of these ILS transactions is that the sums of money being raised through the investor community are a lot larger than they have been traditionally.
Can you tell us about PCS trigger use?
Yes, in 2012, so far, PCS, the PCS estimate, or the index that PCS creates or is being used as an index, has been used in transactions totaling $1.6 billion, which is a 33% increase over what it was last year. So we see a greater movement towards using the PCS index as a triggering element in some of these transactions, along with the other triggers that are being used.
So it's time for the big question. Will 2012 break the 2007 record?
Like I said before, it only takes one. I hearken back to 1992 and Hurricane Andrew. Hurricane Andrew at that point in time and for years following was the largest catastrophe that the insurance industry had ever responded to. Hurricane Andrew was the latest first forming tropical cyclone in the Atlantic Basin in history. I think Andrew formed on August 24th, 1992, caused $15 billion worth of damage in the state of Florida, but was only the first of 6 hurricanes that whole season. So we can have a season like we had in 2005 where we had 25 named storms. We ran out of, we didn't run out, the National Hurricane Center ran out of names. They had to use the first 5 Greek alphabet letters in order to name those specific hurricanes. We had Katrina, Rita, and Wilma, along with 3 other hurricanes that made landfall that year. It was a terrible year, but out of 25 named storms, you would kind of expect more landfalling hurricanes. But then, like I say, in 1992, there were only 6, and the first one was the big one, and was the biggest cat the insurance industry had faced for years.
Well, Gary, that was very informative. Thank you so much for joining us.
No, you're welcome. Thank you.